Hi, I'm Duggan Cooley, and this is The Giving Current. We're on the road for this episode, and we're here at Creative Clay, and I'm joined by Meg Loki, our Director of Philanthropy.
Hi, welcome. Thanks so much. This is Kim Dohrman with Creative Clay. She is the Chief Executive Officer of Creative Clay. She started 18 years ago as a volunteer and worked her way up and is now running one of the best arts organizations in St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming to the gallery. I understand that this is your first road visit. So
It
that's
is.
cool.
First Giving Current on the road.
All right.
So, for those who might not be familiar with Creative Clay, can you tell us more about your mission and who you serve?
Creative Play is an art center that serves people with developmental disabilities. We provide expressive, educational, and vocational experiences in the arts. And also, this is a place where a lot of people come just to really expand and grow as human beings through the arts.
What moment inspired Creative Clay's access to the arts?
Well, I believe because the organization was founded by artists, and the culture is to hire artists. We hire teaching artists, and everybody on the staff, including the CPA, is an artist.
That's so cool.
So we as artists understand the value of how art connects people to each other in the broader community, and the value of the arts in expression and healing. It's that therapeutic aspects as well. So I think knowing that and feeling that as artists, it enables us to pass on our love.
We've come for visits before, and you all have been one of our stops on our bus tour. For people who don't come every day, what's the typical day in the studio like here?
It's varied and wonderful. And you could come Monday and it's different than Tuesday. Tuesday's different than Wednesday. The artists can choose, depending on what their goals are artistically, they can choose to come 5 days a week. And a lot of the artists who are more career focused are going to be coming 5 days a week, and they really see this as their job. And then you have artists who may come a couple days or 3 days a week, and maybe they will be out in the community on gallery hops, going to museums. We have a lot of partners in the community, galleries and museum partners that enable us to just have a wide variety of wonderful things to visit. In the studio, you will see people working on ceramics, people working on paintings. We now have a robust performing arts program, so you may hear some of that in the background eventually. We have a new band that we formed called the Good Folk Band, and that's going to be highlighted at our Good Folk Fest at the Coliseum. That's going to be their debut performance. But a lot of times what you'll hear back there is them practicing for the First Friday art markets. So they have 2 hours where they have karaoke, and they can perform their own songs or they can perform karaoke, and that's been really wonderful.
When is that debut performance?
That's November 16th.
Okay.
At Coliseum.
Okay.
It's a 7 hours of live music, and the Good Folk Band is going to open.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it's cool. Tell us more about your clients.
So we have a variety of people who come here, and for different reasons, as I mentioned earlier. There are people who come to Creative Play for the arts community and the social aspect of it more than, hey, I want to be a career artist and, get into every exhibit. And of course, we have those career artists who want to be out there performing in an exhibit. And we celebrate all of it. I think one of the most magical components of the programming is that each artist does guide their own path. So when we say teaching artists, it's really more like a mentor. The artists are encouraged to find their own voice artistically, and our role is to facilitate that searching. When people come in, sometimes they've never been in a studio before, or they've never picked up a microphone before, and it's really lovely to see them grow and kind of choose and try different things until they find the thing that they really want to dive deeper into. And for some people, like I said, it might just be they don't choose to communicate through speech. So the arts, and especially visual arts, become this wonderful, powerful way of expressing and connecting with the world.
Can you talk a little bit about ArtLink and what happens with ArtLink and for people who are looking for career development as an artist?
Absolutely. ArtLink is a program we've had for over 20 years. It is partially funded by a couple foundations and vocational rehabilitation. And we pair artists one-on-one, a professional artist with one of our member artists, or it could be an artist from the community who has a disability who might want to have that one-on-one and grow their portfolio, or if it's performance, learn about becoming a professional performer. Theater, it could be in any realm. And the whole idea is to give with the one-on-one attention, to give them the opportunity to make an artist statement, do an artist resume, learn. They get paid to do the work. They get paid to, it's sort of like a paid apprenticeship. So that's really lovely for a lot of people who, I mean, I'm one of our artists. She came into the program and she was just ecstatic that she was able to earn money and learn at the same time, which is a wonderful thing. Some choose not to. Some choose to just do the unpaid. You can do either one. I think some families are more reluctant for that avenue.
You talked about some artists getting paid. Do you have an experience that you'd like to share about the first time that
Yes.
has been paid?
This just happened. Oh my gosh, last week. No, yeah, it was art market, our October art market, and Catherine found out that she's fairly new. She's been here for about 6 months, and she never sold a piece. And she found out she sold a piece, and that she was going to be getting a check the following week. I could hear from my office. I thought somebody was in trouble. She exclaimed so loudly and then began to cry. And people were like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" She said, "No, these are joy tears."
Oh,
And I was like, "Oh." Yeah, so when she got that check, she was just over the moon. And that's very inspiring for a lot of the people that we work with who may have grown up being told, "You're not going to have a job. You're not, you're just not going to be able to do that. You're going to, we have other paths for you, but it's not going to be employment." And that sense of purpose that the arts bring, and the ability to either have the recognition from being on stage and having people clap and say, "You matter," is really extraordinary. It's joyful, and that's why I encourage anybody who's never been here to come to Artwork. Like, we have a food truck, we have live music going on. You can see the member artists perform. You can see them interning at the front desk in the gallery.
this gallery is amazing.
Yes,
I mean, it's just every time I come in here, I always want to buy something. I mean, and all this artwork is for sale.
all of it's for sale. And I'm glad you said that, because the first time I stepped into the gallery back in 2007, we were on Central. I just immediately fell in love. I fell in love with the art first. I mean, some people are like, "Oh, well, I fell in love with this artist or this artist" when I got talking to them, but immediately I fell in love with the art. And I wanted to know more. I wanted to learn more. And that day I applied to be a volunteer, and I've never left.
Fantastic.
Well, talk to us about partnerships in the arts and in the community.
The partnerships are sort of I believe our most important essential aspect of what we do. Because if we're just sitting here and saying, "Come, come, come," it's not fully integrating with the community. We have so many wonderful partners. The St. Petersburg Opera Company we've partnered with since 2014. We do at least one opera a year where the artists get inspired. They do research on their iPads, thanks to the Palace Community Foundation, by the way.
Oh,
That's
is that from an operating grant?
wonderful. That was an equipment grant.
Okay.
Rain Arts Center has been a partner. Dunedin Fine Arts Center, we're also in their store. Florida Craft Art has been an amazing, long-time partner. The Dali. We have, and not only a partner in having our items and merch in their stores, but also a partner in, "Hey, once a month, you guys visit. We're not going to charge you." And the ability for our artists to go and get inspired and see art at places they might not be able to have access to ordinarily is crucial. And so we adore our partnerships. We have a page on our website. If you're interested, we've got like 34 partners that in one way or another, and I'd love to list them all, but I highlighted the arts components because that's got a twofold kind of meaning. But we have many not only nonprofit partners, but also business partners, like Black Crow Coffee, who does a private label for us. It's our Good Folk Coffee. So, and they completely just donate the coffee for us to sell. We have a little mug that an artist has designed with both the Black Crow logo and our logo. So,
Oh, cool.
we look for partnerships like that are mutually beneficial and that highlight the business that's supporting us, as well as that thanking them for everything. So
It's wonderful. So, and 34 plus partnerships is incredible as well. So it really is for you all. It's all about the community.
and the colleges, I have to throw that in. University of Tampa, which is my alma mater, sends art therapy interns to us. We usually once a semester, and they're fabulous. We have Eckerd College interns frequently, volunteers from USF and SPC, and those young people coming into the environment and learning. I mean, many of us, I think that's changing now with mainstreaming, but many of us grew up without an integrated classroom, and I think it's so important for the young people to mingle, mix, learn, and it enriches our community of artists too, to have that. You know, sometimes they're artists, sometimes they're going for education, sometimes they're in community development, but they're always a wonderful addition to our community.
But we talk all the time about the importance of collaboration. That's really neat that you have all these different partners all working together just to make the community stronger.
Yeah, we treasure it, and we're really proud of the longevity of many of our partnerships. Our partnership with our sister city Takamatsu, it's an art link. It's a component of Art Link where we're partnering with an agency in Takamatsu who works to do exactly what we do. And in fact, they named Art Link after our program over 20 years ago when they saw our founders speaking at a conference about this wonderful program that they created, pairing a professional artist with an artist. And so Tano Tamako went back over and created Art Link, which has been going on since. So we've been partnering with them, doing mail art exchanges and exhibit exchanges. And most recently, our 60th anniversary of our sister cities, we did a beautiful exhibit with pelicans. And I think I mentioned it last time you were on the tour, but
we saw some of the artwork from it.
Yeah, so we also partner with Make Studio in Baltimore, which is another studio that some people refer to the studios that work with people with artists with disabilities as progressive studios. And so Make Studio, we're having an exhibit coming up, I think next week, that we're going to do a live Zoom. And the artists get to speak. They've chosen artwork from the exhibit from all over the country, their favorite artwork, and they're going to speak about why they like the art on Zoom. And the Zoom is all over the country with arts. And I think even Finland last year, we had an art center in Finland. So
that's so neat. I love this.
Local and international.
Yes.
It's incredible. The opportunity for artists and members to creative play. The work you do is incredible. Thank you. So Kim, Creative Clay supports and works with artists with disabilities.
Yeah.
How do people find Creative Clay?
A majority of the artists who attend find us through either word of mouth, because we've been around for 30 years now, or through their support coordinator. And many of the people diagnosed with a developmental disability, that means they either have autism or Down syndrome or spina bifida or Williams syndrome. There's a list of different developmental disabilities. These diagnoses happen before the age of 18, and many families choose to utilize the Medicaid waiver. And with that comes the sort of a case manager or support coordinator. That includes making sure they have access to a job if they want, or a program that they can come to, like Creative Clay, and they work with the person that they're serving to make sure that they find a good match. So sometimes we've had waiver support coordinators come and say, look, I have a person who really has heard about Creative Clay and wants to come, but has never done art or has no interest in art. And we say, come on, shadow for a day, see how you like it, see if it's a fit, and then we go from there. If it,
You really see them bloom here.
yeah, for sure.
About your upcoming event.
Good Folk Fest is coming back. We had Folk Fest from 2000 to 2019, and then we had some shifts. Some things happened in the world, and we shifted our event kind of schedule. Yeah, and we're bringing Good Folk Fest back, and it's 7 hours of live music, and we have curated some special artists. Articles Gallery is going to be there. Jennifer Chanley, Allie Arnold's going to be doing a make and take. We also have 9 other make and takes, and a make and take is where you can come and do an art project and take it with you. And I'm encouraging people to think about the holidays coming up. Come and make your own gift for mom or grandma. Make it at the event and take it with you. And so, in addition to that, the make and takes and the 7 hours of live music, there's going to be food trucks. Tampa Bay food trucks is going to be there. And we have Stuart Hyatt. Well, he did ArtLink in 2005. He's a musician and producer. He came in, I think through Eckerd College, he learned about creative play. He came to creative play and worked with about 7 of our member artists, about 4 of whom are still here. And they created an album.
Oh.
And the album is called Shrimp Attack. And all of the songs on the album were written together collaboratively with the member artists and Stuart Hyatt. It says that he worked with Creative Clay on this album.
Oh.
So I got wind of this through our board chair, Sean Kennedy, and messaged him, and he got back to me and said, I can't believe you're reaching out because I wanted to do a 20th anniversary celebration of this album, Shrimp Attack.
Oh my
And I said, you're not going to believe this. We have a 30th anniversary celebration in November. You should come. And he's like, definitely come.
Oh.
So the first album he did was a CD, and it was packaged so cool. It was like in a fabric canteen thing. I can show it to you. For this album, he did it on vinyl. So Stuart Hyatt's going to be here at the event with a listening room with headphones, so people can come and listen to the album and then buy the album to support Creative Play. So that's a really neat feature at the event. We also have Missionary Mary Proctor, who's been in every single folk fest we've ever had. An internationally renowned folk artist whose work goes for thousands of dollars. She's in the Baltimore American Visionary Museum. She's in the High Plains Museum. She's got in the permanent collection at the MFA. She's known all over the country, and we are so just thrilled that she's agreed to come back. And that's important to the whole event and the kind of the purpose and reason that this event is in my heart, because of it encapsulates that inclusive thing all in one space. You're seeing internationally renowned folk artists exhibiting next to our artists, and it's beautiful. I mean, the genre of folk art can be so many things. It's not one thing. It's often the thing that I like about folk art is I think of it as something that's more telling your story, telling your personal reality, not concerned with the rules of fine arts and things. And I think that art is so powerful. And so you can put a piece of Missionary Mary art next to one of our artists, and if you don't know who the artists are, they would fit. So I think that's really powerful and really important.
Where and how can we participate?
Awesome. Well, it is at the Coliseum in St. Petersburg on November 16th. That's a Sunday, 11 to 6 p.m. There's plenty of parking, so you don't have to worry about that. And you can come. We want you to come at 11, see the Good Folk Band, and of our member artists, perform to open the show, and stay all day and play with us. It's going to be fun. You're going to have fun, I guarantee it. So.
There'll be shopping.
There's going to be the Good Folk Gallery is going to be there too. I mentioned some of the others. The Good Folk Gallery is going to be featuring a new exhibit of new iconic landmarks.
Oh.
And these we have a calendar coming out with the paintings that are going to be exhibited. All the paintings are for sale. It's a wonderful exhibit of work. I'm really excited to debut it at the festival, and of course, anyone who buys a piece of art gets a calendar to go with it. So yeah, and yes, there's T-shirts, stickers, pins, jewelry,
I love your jewelry.
fanny packs, backpacks. We have lots of new merch, which is kind of we really want to increase the visibility and increase our marketing endeavors for the gallery and the thrift. There's so many wonderful products that we started to put out that you can find on our online store, on our website, creativeclay.org, and really neat stuff. Our mannequin Sunshine over there is sporting some of it.
Oh, as a longtime partner of Pinellas Community Foundation, talk to us about that partnership. How has that helped Creative Clay?
We have had a long-term partnership way back, and in fact, when I started at Creative Clay, the director then said, I said I wanted to learn about grant writing, and my very first grant was a Pinellas Community Foundation grant, and so the PCF has been there for Creative Clay consistently through our growth, and providing not only the equipment grants, that the iPads, the computers, our outdoor studio now has fans, which in this climate obviously is really important.
Yes.
Thanks to you guys. We have a storage shed. We were bursting at the seams. We have a storage shed because of you. So not only the equipment grants have been impactful, but the operating grants, and the fact that the operating grants are they're flexible. We have so many restrictions sometimes on donations and grants that make it difficult in a time like COVID, or when something comes up and there's an emergency. And the trust that the PCF gives to the organizations that you grant to is so important. And I think that's indicative of our long relationship. There's a trust there. And we talked as an organization for many years about what our reserves need to look like. Where do we need to be to grow, not just to stay where we are and do what we do day after day. How are we going to grow? We want to own our own building. Well, you have to start with making sure you have the reserves, and we made the choice. Our board of directors did a lot of research. We made the choice to go with PCF, with the reserve funds, and it's been wonderful. And again, we love the option, but we love having the option of that money being available to us in the case of an emergency, because we don't know, and this is something that I think is unusual in my experience for a foundation to have that reserve fund.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that. We of course, I mean, I can keep on naming over the 20 years of things that should have PCF's name on it, and so I appreciate all your support.
Much like you, we're all about the community and appreciate our operating grants and equipment grants have been made possible by a variety of donors over the years, and so it's their name also that goes everywhere. And we're very excited about the long-term relationship we've had with Creative Clay. You mentioned operating grants, and I think there have been operating grants from PCF to the community for probably close to 40 years now. And that's been an important part of what we do. For your organization, how do you know that that's working? Beyond maybe talking about the restrictions and having flexibility, what do you know, and what can you say that you know that operating grants really work for organizations?
Well, we are still here, so that we also, I think, are unique in that a lot of our staff have been here for a very long time, and they are here because they love what they do. They love working with the artists, and so I think we are like a family for that reason, because when you're on a team where you've been together for so long, it's really wonderful. You grow together, and so I think the retention of our staff, also the member artists. Chris Coyle has been an artist, and he is 5 days a week. He's been attending Creative Clay and working here since 1999. And he takes it very seriously. I've seen him from the time I started go from being primarily focused in marker, then embroidery, needlework. He's now absolutely obsessed with embroidery, and his artwork is fabulous. And so that's kind of cool too, to see somebody's evolution as an artist. And I think a lot of artists like to try lots of things, and Chris is certainly an example of that. But getting back to that, a lot of the artists, in addition to the staff, have been here for a long time. And their families are part of our family. They're a part of our, I mean, it's
a great community.
Yeah, it's a community. It's a community of art makers and their supporters.
It's wonderful.
So talk to us about Creative Clay's need.
We have had a couple of our major revenue streams, funding resources coming to an end. We don't know if it's temporary. It might be, or it might be long term. We need to, and we are, strategizing to diversify our funds, make sure that we're doing a great job marketing-wise. We're partnering with Happythia Collaborative to get our marketing plan, our development plan, to increase our corporate donors, our individual donors, our legacy givers. In more recent years, thing that's happened. So we look for donors at all levels. We have young people who give $5 a month in our Good Folk Society program. We have people who give $100 a month in that program. But that monthly giving program has been very important to us, but also the corporate sponsors. And as I mentioned earlier, with Black Crow as a partner, that corporate sponsorship could look a lot of different ways. And we really encourage, if you're a business or a corporation and you look over at Creative Clay and say, well, we really support what you're doing, you want to work with us, then let's talk about how we can be mutually beneficial, and what message do you need us to help you with, you know? And as long as those things align, that's wonderful. So we want donors from all levels, and sponsors and things.
How would they do that?
You can go to creativeclay.org and go to support tab, and there are all the different ways to donate. If you want to donate Bitcoin, you can even call me up and I'll send you a link, because we take Bitcoin donations. In fact, we had a Bitcoin donation years ago that was $24,000.
Oh, wow!
We cashed it in. So we will take the money however you want to give it to us.
And people can come shop too.
Shopping is another area of growth. Merch line and doing a lot of these wonderful smaller ceramic pieces.
So cute.
So people can come in, they might want to spend $10. We have something for $10. We have something for $5. Greeting cards, stickers. And then, of course, the beautiful artwork.
I mean,
and I really want people to remember.
I've almost bought the circles one about 3 times now.
The wonderful thing about buying original art, as opposed to some of the merch over there, when you buy a piece of original art, you're supporting our programs, but you're also supporting an artist, and so that's important, and it feels good. I like to think about it as gifts with a purpose, and so when people are thinking about, what am I going to do? It's last minute. Come to Creative Clay. More people who think about that, oh, gifts, come to Creative Clay, the more they know. And then while you're here, you can visit our thrift store. It's all, repurposed art supplies. It's absolutely full right now. So we've been getting lots and lots of donations. So we need people to come. It's pay what you can. So that's our way of giving back to the artists in the community. And the teaching artists, that's one of the benefits they have. They can go in and get what they need. And not only for their studio classes, but also for their studios at home to work. So that's fun. It's fun to visit the thrift store.
So you talked about sort of long-term plan, and one of the things that you'd like to do is own your own building. What would that do for Creative Clay to own your own facility?
A sense of security, and knowing that we can grow in ways in our own space. There are things that we can do in our own space that renting a space doesn't allow us. Even in the outdoor space. When you rent, you have to get permission for anything you do, permission for the murals, permission, So having our own building will give us that freedom and that security. to really grow and in the ways that we want to grow, and depending on what the climate is.
That's so exciting. Thanks so much for having us and taking the Giving Current on the road.
Wonderful to have you, and I really appreciate you showing everyone the gallery, getting a little snapshot. There's so much more to see. It's 5,000 square feet of studios. Come visit us for Art Market, first Friday, second Saturday Art Walk, and of course Good Folk Fest at the Coliseum November 16th from 11 to 6, 7 hours of live music, food trucks, and make and take art projects. And you can also shop online if you kind of prefer staying in.
If you'd like to learn more about Pinellas Community Foundation, you can visit us online and learn more about how we work with organizations like Creative Clay and others in the community. We're grateful for the opportunity to take our podcast on the road, and thank you very much for joining us for another episode of The Giving Current.